Good evening, everyone. Welcome to North Penn High School's 63rd commencement ceremony, honoring the graduates in the class of 2018. My name is Todd Bauer, and I'm the principal here at the high school. At this time, I ask that all of our guests in the stadium please stand as you are able. Graduates, you are to remain seated while cadets from our Air Force Junior ROTC present the colors of the United States of America and of the state of Pennsylvania. Once the cadets have presented the colors on stage, I will ask our graduates to stand for the national anthem.
Hold! Left. Hey! Forward. Hey! Color guard. Hold! Breathe in. Hold!
Graduates, please stand as you are able. Gentlemen, remove your caps. The senior members of our choir will sing the Star-Spangled Banner under the direction of Leah Franco. At the conclusion of the national anthem, please remain standing as the choir will then sing the North Penn Alma Mater under the direction of Stephen Kindikian. Thank you, and please be seated as our senior singers return to their seats. Again, thank you and welcome to all family, friends, faculty, staff, administrators, and North Penn School District Board of Directors for joining us this evening as we celebrate the class of 2018 on this 7th day of June. First, given the nature of our dignified ceremony this evening, I ask that everyone refrains from celebrating the reading of an individual graduate with whistles, noisemakers, or air horns, so that each graduate has the opportunity to hear his or her name in honor of the great accomplishment that we are celebrating this evening. The class of 2018 joins me in thanking you for your respect of all of our graduates. We will absolutely have the opportunity to cheer and celebrate together on the field after the reading of all the names. Today, 982 students have earned and will receive their high school diplomas from the North Penn School District. Class of 2018, you have accomplished so much throughout this time, but for a moment, let's just reflect on this year. You had 17 National Merit finalists and 12 National Merit commended students. You've been recognized at the state and national levels for your accomplishments in the classroom and your continued pursuits of excellence across all academic disciplines. You raised over $42,000 to help cure childhood cancer at Minithon. You can clap for that. You supplied food and resources to those in need, had more student involvement during homecoming week than we've ever seen before. You found success on the fields, on the stage, in the gym, the pool, in addition to, of course, the classroom. This is certainly not an all-inclusive list of your accomplishments, but please allow me to continue with just a few more. North Penn Class of 2018, you've won team or individual state or national championships in FBLA, marching band, men's choir and chamber singers, band, orchestra, girls swimming and diving, girls water polo, boys water polo, Odyssey of the Mind, and of course, unified bocce ball. Please take some time tonight to look around and appreciate the accomplishments of you and your classmates. In doing so, I ask that it sparks a dream, similar to your theme last night at Reflections. Now, as I sat down to prepare the speech, and as I do each year, I try to find ways to make it unique to your class. In an attempt to do so, I of course try to reflect back on your time here, and I also try to offer one last bit of advice before you leave Crawford Stadium one final time. Let's start with the reflection piece. I couldn't help but gravitate towards the unique fact that you and I entered North Penn High School together, and the fact that you were the first class that I had the pleasure of working with. As previously mentioned, there have been so many championships, accolades, and accomplishments. There were also things that weren't won, but do stand out in my mind. During your sophomore year, we had to learn together all about the culture of this big high school and how to function in the intimidating metropolis. There were bumps in the road, and certainly some things that we learned together. But we also had some wonderful things happen, such as a visit from Super Bowl champion and North Penn alum Brandon McManus. And another famous alum, Liz Mensel, or Roses, But all in all, I think we made a great transition together. During your junior year, you implemented Link Crew to help sophomores transition to this school. Drake Bell came to visit. I still have no idea who he is. And I met him. We started Student Appreciation Day. We consolidated our home offices from 5 down to 3. We started using Naviance to better prepare for life after high school. We grieved together through some tragedies, and we learned how to come together as a school community to help one another in need. This year, so many things have gone so well. Let's start with the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles finally won the Super Bowl. Senior class of 2018, you've challenged me with tackling conversations in our society and across the country. You've taught me how to learn both from and with you, and you've pushed to keep improvement and the greater good at the front of all that we do. You've amazed me countless times and reminded me time and time again why working with students is so darn rewarding. Now, let's transition to that parting words portion of this speech. And like any great student, I Googled graduation speeches. I searched for inspiration and how to offer advice to all of you. The one that really resonated with me, and you'll hear from Mia later, apparently it resonated with her as well, a commencement address from Admiral William H. McRaven, who gave an address to the class of 2014 at the University of Texas at Austin. In his speech, he spoke about the little things and how they make a difference, which is absolutely true. However, he also talked about his time during SEAL training, where they were taught all about sharks before they had to spend the night in shark-infested waters as part of a training exercise. While the teachings were certainly used to scare those cadets before their night swim and to challenge their mental fortitude, he also shared the fact that some of the information was helpful in preparation for life. He went on to share that they were taught that if a shark does approach you, and if a shark does begin to circle, you should hold your ground, stand strong, don't swim away. If that shark does get closer and closer and ultimately does attack you, muster up all your strength and punch that shark in the darn nose. Sound effect. Thank you. So, class of 2018, as you move on with your lives, and as you go about that swim that we will call life, know that there will be sharks in the water. Some of them will keep their distance, others will not. You'll be challenged around every turn. But be sure to learn from the successes and the failures. Be kind and help others, but please, if a shark does begin to circle and gets closer, remember all the lessons and the experiences that you've had here at North Penn High School. Muster up all your strength, and again, punch that shark in the darn nose. You have made an impact on the North Penn School District and on North Penn High School. You will always, okay, that's the Oscar music telling me that my time is up. However, you will always have a special place in my heart, class of 2018. You've absolutely made me a better principal, a better father, a better individual. Now go out there and please make the world a better place. My best to each and every one of you as you pursue your dreams. And I thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Next, I would like to introduce the president of the North Penn School District Board of Directors, Mrs. Tina Stoll. She offers her congratulatory remarks on behalf of the board. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Stoll.
Thank you, Dr. Bauer. Good evening, everyone. So I don't know how many of you followed the North Penn School Board this past year, but to give you a little bit of background, there are 9 school board directors on the school board. 7 of us were new this year. At the beginning of our term, we went to new school board director orientation, and there, the instructor told us something that really resonated with us. She said, the position of school board director is a non-paying position. It is strictly volunteer. Your payday will be graduation day. As we sit here on the stage tonight, and I look out onto the field, and I see all the happy, incredibly happy faces of the students whose big day has finally come. And we look into the stands, and we see the parents, grandparents, family and friends proudly supporting their graduates as they are about to have their degrees conferred upon them. It is indeed an incredible payday. The North Penn School Board has had a tradition, which we will continue this evening, and that is to send its graduates off with 3 messages. First, you have a voice. Please use it for good. Use it to lift other people up, not to tear them down. Advocate for what you believe in with conviction, but always respect other people's opinions, even if you may not agree with them. We have faith and we trust in you that you will make this world a better place. Second, take the time to put down your phones and get to know the people and places around you. You can Google the answer to just about anything these days, but nothing will ever take the place of personal experiences and relationships as you make your way through life. Siri and Alexa may know a lot of things, but they do not know you. We encourage you to share it with people that do. And third, and this I say to you from the bottom of my heart, as a former North Penn graduate myself and the proud parent of 3 more North Penn graduates, no matter where you go in this world, always remember that North Penn is your home. After all, as the saying goes, once a night, always a night. So with that, to the class of 2018, on behalf of the North Penn School Board Directors, we congratulate you. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you for allowing us to be part of your celebration. Have a great evening and have fun tonight. You deserve it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Stoll. Next, you will hear from our 4 student speakers. The first student speaker is our salutatorian, Anoop Bhatt. Anoop will be followed by Ms. Mia Melcher, who was selected to speak by a committee of teachers through an application process. Then you will hear from your class president, Maggie Walsh, and then you will hear ultimately from the valedictorian of the class of 2018, Palak Shah. Please join me in welcoming the salutatorian of the class of 2018, Mr. Anoop Bhatt.
Good evening, class of 2018, family, friends, faculty, teachers, and everyone else who's helped us get this far. And of course, congratulations, because after a long, hard journey, we finally sit on the brink of our futures. And while I'm sure all of us are excited, I'm also sure that many of us are a bit apprehensive. You might be thinking to yourself, whoa, I'm suddenly an adult now, and I have no idea what I'm doing. And now some people might respond to such concern with reassurance, saying something like, oh hey, the past 18 years have prepared you for anything you can encounter in the future. And while they would be correct to a degree, the fact remains that we still have a lot to learn. So yeah, we probably won't know what we're doing many, many times in the next couple of years. But isn't that how it's always been? Just think back to preschool and elementary school. We didn't know anything back then, but we learned. We learned how to make our first friends, friends who we'd play tag with at recess, hang out with at the ice cream socials, trick-or-treat with on Halloween. Our teachers taught us basic skills like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and my personal favorite, long division. And then middle school came around. And guess what? We found out that we still knew nothing, and we learned again. among the important lessons that I learned in middle school is that you shouldn't walk backwards in a hallway because you'll end up crashing into an administrator. But middle school actually did help me a lot with my career goals, because if it wasn't for the wearable video game controller that I built in 9th grade for the science fair and Dr. Ward's generous support along the way, I really don't know where my aspirations would be right now. So Dr. Ward, if you're watching, thank you, because you're amazing. All right. And then we got to high school, and you know what's going on now. We found out that we still had a lot to learn. Many of us started working in high school because we realized that at some point our parents wouldn't be buying all our stuff anymore. Many of us learned how to drive in high school. And all of us learned that at some point or another we had to start thinking about our futures. And now our futures are here, because in a few moments we're going to be adults. And I can honestly say that I don't know entirely what's coming our way, and admit it, and neither do you. But don't be nervous. Instead, embrace the unknown. And don't be afraid to learn and adapt to it. You've probably heard this 1,000 times before, but really, break out of your comfort zone and see how much you grow because you did. From my experience, that's what makes life interesting. Class of 2018, I wish you the best of luck, congratulations, and thank you. And now I'd like to introduce our selected student speaker, Maria Melchon.
Thanks, Luke. Dr. Dietrich, Dr. Bauer, faculty, staff, families, and friends. Commencement. We are here. It is happening. Our families are in the bleachers trying to find us in the sea of blue. But how many other ceremonies are happening this month? How many other high school students will be sitting in caps and gowns all across America, impatiently waiting for the speeches to conclude? One of the first recorded commencements in America was at Harvard in 1642. Every single graduate was required to give a speech to the crowd to prove their skills. Can you imagine if we did that tonight? We'd be here until Sunday. Funny thing about these commencement speeches, they almost always include words about changing the world, don't they? Admiral McRaven told the graduates of the University of Texas, "What starts here changes the world." Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, told the students at MIT, "You have the power to change the world for the better." Even Bill Nye the Science Guy stood at records and said, "You can change the world by becoming the next great generation." So let's do the math. If we started talking about changing the world in roughly 1642, that's 376 years of eager graduates setting off to fix things. Certainly by now the world has been changed, right? Wow. Is this what the world is supposed to look like? If so, I'm confused. It's hardly different from all that we learned in history class. Still full of racism, war, and poverty? Did all those graduates just ignore those commencement speeches? There are almost 1,000 students sitting here tonight. And even though most can't believe the size of the North Penn graduating class, 1,000 people seems like a rather small force to change the world, doesn't it? What could we possibly do that can make a positive impact? Well, here's a thought. Yes, there are only less than 1,000 of us, but we aren't rams, those big red whatevers, or bucks. We are knights, and we're defined by one word: chivalry. Chivalry is not an everyday word in 2018, but maybe it should be. It's the combination of qualities expected of a knight, especially courage, honor, courtesy, justice, and the readiness to help the weak. It's as simple as holding the door, and it is as hard as truly being happy when someone else succeeds. It is the person who accomplishes something for herself but then turns back and helps the next one in line. It's about respecting someone else's dream, even when it's completely different than mine. Each summer, we are mailed a North Penn School District Code of Conduct. Remember that thick envelope that came? It outlined the rules and regulations, and no doubt each one of us read it cover to cover. But our code, the Knight's Code, is not on paper. It is not a list of what not to do. It is a call to action. It is speaking out against injustice. It is being dedicated to inclusion. It is refusing to bully or oppress to get ahead. It is being honest in both failure and success. I have no idea what each one of us will become. We will spread out from Crawford Stadium and we will go to work or to college, leaving this place and this moment. Lots of things are about to change. But one thing will never change. We will always be nice. The code that these teachers and administrators have worked to awaken in us is now inside us. It goes where we go. And even though there are less than 1,000 of us, I believe that when knights live like knights, chivalry is contagious. Courage, honor, courtesy, and justice are attractive things, and it's just possible that the sea of blue will become an ocean of blue. A mighty wave of graduates who live out the commencement speeches. Margaret Mead once said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has." Will we change the whole world? I don't know. It's certainly possible. But one thing I do know, if we leave here and live like knights, we are bound to make a dent. Congratulations, class of 2018. And now I would like to welcome our class president, Maggie Walsh.
Thanks, Nina. Dr. Dietrich, Dr. Bauer, teachers, family, friends, and most of all, class of 2018, welcome. I am Maggie Walsh, and I proudly serve as class president for the past 3 years at North Penn. Today, I would like to talk to you about music. Music is the great connector, the storyteller of our lives. Each of our stories are unique, but they are connected by the collective soundtrack of our lives as a class of 2018. In 2005, we entered kindergarten. At our various elementary schools, and our soundtrack, like our stories, were mostly those of our parents. Some listened to Barney or church music like myself, while the lucky ones listened to their parents' music like Beatles and Led Zeppelin. But with our entrance into school came the chance to create our own shared moments, which were defined by the music that underscored them. It truly was a wonderful, simple world, and the simple themes and rhythms of our music matched the simplicity of our lives. In 2008, we entered 3rd grade. We tried to push into the musical worlds of our older peers and claim our own songs. The #1 song of the year was Slow Riders Low. I remember the horror on my mom's face when her innocent 3rd grader started singing about the apple-bottom jeans and boots with the fur of the girls of the club. We were so sure the whole club was looking at us. Looking back, this mix of innocence and sass seems to have defined our elementary youth selves. In 2012, Gaudi's angsty #1 song of the year seemed to echo the turmoil of starting middle school, as our friends, and even ourselves, often felt like somebody that we used to know. As we all worked hard to forge new, more grown-up identities and find our way. In 2015, we entered the big, unknown halls of North Penn with the outward bravado of that year's #1 song, Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars. We stripped these halls with our Dentalini Just Watch Walk, our giant ranch bags, and our sophomore backpacks. But behind this confidence, many of us felt a moody uncertainty that our parents and teachers tried to ease. and the beat played on. In 2017, we entered the heart of junior year. No other song could find last year, as well as 21 pilot songs stressed out. In the midst of SATs, APs, increased workloads, and training for college, this song's pulsing lyrics wish we could go back in time to the good old days when our mama sang us to sleep, but now we're stressed out, said it all. In the midst of school stress, extracurricular activities, and anxiety of every person you ever saw, ever, asking about your future plans, we all had our friends who kept us sane and understood it in a way that those who didn't share our soundtrack never could. So many of our experiences, so much of our soundtrack is shared. We must never forget, however, the beauty and value of our own soundtracks, the one we hear quietly in our own heads, some celebratory, some corny, some off-key, some heartbreaking. We must always remember that often those dancing on the outside are singing an entirely different song on the inside. My own soundtrack is split, probably like many of yours. I may seem like an enthusiastic, involved person, one only filled with upbeat melodies and catchy lyrics. While that is partially true, more complicated rhythms lie beneath. For the past 4 years, I have dealt with chronic health issues that have caused me to miss weeks and weeks of school at a time, making my journey more difficult than you may believe. I've kept my personal soundtrack and my health issues private, but they're an essential part of my song. Know that the friend, the teacher, the parent, the stranger dancing next to you has his or her own private symphony pulsing inside. Know that the shared playlist of our lives, as well as our own private Spotifys, all have equal beauty, equal power, and equal responsibility for bringing us to this day. It is now 2018, and here in Crawford Stadium, our shared soundtrack, like Ed Sheeran's current hit, seems pretty close to perfect. Of course, our soundtrack must come to an end to make way for new songs and new beginnings. Some songs, however, seem to play in our memories well after they fall from the charts. As I remember this day, long into the future, Green Day's Good Riddance will be playing in my head. And I will think about these halls where we made our best friends and lifelong memories and paved the road for our limitless futures. The soundtrack I will remember, and hope you will as well, is filled with songs of celebration and friendship, challenges and tears, and all that made us who we are. In our soundtrack, our story is something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you have the time of your life. Congratulations, class of 2018, and thank you for being a part of my song. Next, I would like to introduce our valedictorian, Alex Shaw.
Good evening, esteemed faculty, administration, parents, and my fellow graduates. It is my honor to be standing before you all today. Class of 2018, we finally made it. Well, you're almost there. As the last obstacle in your 13-year-long struggle to your diploma, I intend to fully relish every second that keeps you here. From Chromebooks to nighttime, the new SAT, and the removal of senior quotes, I think it's safe to say our class has faced its fair share of changes. But we've adapted. With humor, with camaraderie, with grace, we've adjusted to our changing circumstances. Change is a tricky concept. We hear that change is good, inevitable, normal, but it can also be unpredictable, uncomfortable, even frightening. Today, we stand on the brink of one of the greatest changes in our lives. We are all set to face new beginnings, meet new people, explore uncharted lands, challenge the status quo, in short, to embrace the unknown. We are never free from change, but we are always free to decide how we respond to it. Mahatma Gandhi used to say, adaptability is not imitation, it means power of resistance and assimilation. We can align our present selves to match new realities, we can find different ways to solve our problems. Raised in the cradle of change, class of 2018, we inhabit a unique place in this world. Not only do we know how to deal with change, but more importantly, we can thrive within it. From any number of confusing Zell schedules and Google Classroom codes, we've shifted the way we learn and found success all the same. Yes, change can be complicated and demanding, but it allows us to venture into new territories that can be quite rewarding in the end. And if you're the first ones to embrace it, we can be the ones to lead it. But I give this advice with an important caveat. Sometimes, adaptation isn't always the way to go. Often, we are presented with opportunities to create change, to shape and mold our surroundings. I call this reforming. So then, what's the difference between adapting and reforming, and when to use each one? The answer lay in one word: conviction. Conviction in ourselves to stand on solid footing, gaze at our surroundings, see something out of place, and try to fix it. This gives us purpose, filling us with hope that there exists something out there worth working for. Because before you can do anything, you have to believe you are agents of change. In fact, you've already proven that. From the student-led walkout to the new unified bocce ball team, which captured the state title, to the shift in focus at the African American Awareness Assembly, to the work of the newly formed Us Against Hunger Club, the class of 2018 has demonstrated a remarkable ability to foster lasting, positive change. All of these student-led acts of advocacy have taught me two things. First, enthusiasm is very contagious. If you show enough enthusiasm for change, others will naturally follow suit. Second, imperfection is everlasting. There is always something, no matter how small, in need of change. And the best part, every one of us can play a role in the fight for progress. As a leader, as participant, advisor, or ally, we all hold the power to disrupt status quo. Whether in adapting mode or reforming mode, there still exists a bizarre obstacle in our way. Why do so many of us spend so much time worrying about things outside our control? For whatever reason, the fluctuating weather, the pace of sophomores in EPOD, the sinking feeling that it's 2:15 and the buses have blocked every single exit, all seem to leave us without enough energy to make the most of the changes we've got. As graduates, you'll have to face uncertainties like these in both the immediate and distant future. But I trust that with your faith in yourselves and the strength of your convictions, you'll convert those uncertainties into opportunities. I hope you will make the most of the opportunities you do have and create ones where they don't yet exist. Thank you, students, teachers, mom and dad, and congratulations to the class of 2018.
Thank you, Palak, and one more round of applause for all of our outstanding student speakers this evening. Okay. At this time, as we prepare to read the names of our graduates, I would like to ask our senior class officers to join me on stage. Maggie Walsh, Allison Maxwell, Ryan Cody, and Evan Yanagawa. Our senior class leaders will read the name of each graduate, and legacy photographers will take a picture of each graduate as they receive their diploma. Again, I would like to ask, at this time I would like to ask our school board members and home office secretaries to come to the front of the stage to help with diploma distribution. I would also like to have Ms. Mary Scott and Dr. Sarah Radigan, your assistant principals, in addition to Dr. Kurt Dietrich, superintendent of schools, Dr. Diane Holben, assistant superintendent, and Dr. Deborah McKay, director of secondary, to join me on stage. Okay. Now, if the first row of each section would please stand up and process towards the stage as we practiced yesterday, we can begin the reading of the names. While the students are seated alphabetically, the rotating nature of the names means that they will not be read in alphabetical order. All students will exit the stage at the 50-yard line, so listen carefully so you can see and hear your son or daughter as they receive their diploma. Again, the class of 2018 joins me in asking that you refrain from emphatic celebration at the time the name is read so that the student behind them can also hear their name. Each student deserves this opportunity. With that, let's begin. Maggie Walsh, go ahead.
Mario Rafat Abdir.
Go ahead, Evan.
Rodrigo Organato.
Sara Akmal.
Mozilla Edward.
Hadi Abdullah.
Michael Joseph Ragsdale.
Brenda Lee.
Scotty Edward.
Ravi Murad Abu Said.
Samiha Rahim.
Jared Leatherman.
Sierra Edwards.
Musab Medhat Abu Said.
Isya Ahmad Rahman.
Alexa Victoria LeBron Cruz.
Felix Eichel.
Logan Reese Adams.
Shahad Rahman.
Amir Damian Lee.
Gabrielle Lee Electra.
Matthew Scott Adams.
Shakibur Rahman.
Hayum Lee.
Muhammad Tarek Imam.
Benjamin Zed Omar.
Farzana Rakib.
Jane Lee.
Michael Gary Hendrick.
Anita
Nina Rahman.
Jisoo Lee.
Sarah Rose Bennett.
Jawad Ahmed.
Anusha Ramdeen.
Keon Min Lee.
Jacob Matthew Bernard.
Nathan Troy Armour.
Tyler Ralston Ratner.
Noah Lee.
Leo Wong Jr.
Rakibu Aslan.
Yasser Ubaid Razi.
Peter Y. Lee.
Amelia Zoe Estrada.
Rabia Ahmed.
Mohammed Rakib Rosat.
Sana Lee.
Kirolos Iskender.
Carlos Akro.
Ibrahim Osama Breda.
Justine Elizabeth Lemon.
Adriana Padman.
Miriam Alexander.
Morgan Elizabeth Reese.
Nora Elizabeth Lennon.
Jordan Keenan Hart.
Catherine Mary Reese.
Cameron Michael Reese.
Gerald John Lester III.
Kayvon Allen Etheridge.
James Nelson Alexander.
Tanasia Naya Reed.
Grace Marie Lewis.
Laura Michelle Payne.
Bryce Allen Ellis.
Jessica Grace Reedy.
Joseph Sebastian Lewis.
Jesse James Garfield.
Nathan Jeffrey Neal.
Heather Helene Wright.
Sarah Catherine Lilly.
Samantha Leah Fairfield.
Harper Emmett.
Nusrat J. Brady.
Joseph Walter Linden.
Juliana Bobby Farouk.
Catherine Renee.
Masonic Green Joanne Catherine Foster.
Anthony Alexander Andrews.
Jeremiah J.J. McFarland Jr.
Jenna Congratulations, sir.
Charlotte Elisa Faulkner.
No, go ahead.
Catherine Elizabeth Angelio.
Janice Giovanni Richardson.
Catherine Olivia
Umar Safety Fagan.
Courtney Tiara.
Brian Eric Griffith.
Jessica Lucy Lewis.
James Thomas B. Jr.
Gerard Antonio.
Alan Joseph Ritchie.
Olivia Sarah Lewis.
Donald Thomas Meehan.
Morgan Brunello Antonio.
Rosalinda Rivera.
Jake Joseph Lobrecht.
Antonio Vicente Tiziano Obama.
Lucas Norman Apple.
Adeline Burrell Robbins. Joshua Malik Healy.
Theodore William Archibald.
Jessica Ashley Robbins.
Julia H. Love.
Maria Fernandez de Casa.
Taryn Richard Armand.
Salvatore Rocco Roberto.
Paul Allen Logan.
Anthony Merrill Terry.
Hart Aurora.
Jalen Anthony Robinson.
Rosa Logan.
Kristen Clayton.
Salami Jasmine Tyson.
Victoria Elizabeth Broken.
Pam Eugene Lowry.
Rachel Paige Bishop.
Siobhan Stein.
Jordan Xavier Roldan.
Samantha Grace Lubeck.
Sean Franklin Fisher.
Connor Jane Atkinson.
Mayor Romani.
She wanted to shake her hand.
Robinette Fitzgerald.
Manjari and Secretary.
Edmund Romero Rowe.
Daniel David Lugo.
Adriana Flower.
Andrew Thomas Atia.
Victoria Courtney Rosario.
Leonardo Farrow.
Brian James Blunt.
Kyle Jordan Everett.
Brandon Thomas Rowan.
Lydia Henry Butters.
Kevin Paul Fogarty.
Christine Lee Clark.
Alyssa Marie Rowland.
Hugh Lou.
Brooke Lynn Foyce.
Samira Shaw Bailey.
Dylan Michael Rowland.
Haley Elizabeth Wong.
Olivia Michelle Collins.
Susan Bay.
Melina Rose Rubas.
Bailey Nicole Cruz.
Sage Foster.
Kurt Asher
Brendan Alexander Gruber.
Hey, buddy.
Thomas C. Lou.
Leah Ramona Franco.
Nicole May Lava.
Joshua Samuel Rubenstein.
Christine Ma.
Matthew James Franco.
Julian Tanner Barr.
Victoria J. Rutherford.
Katie Elizabeth McFarland. Jessica Lauren Barrett.
Michael Derek Zepko.
Robert Hayden Melanie Lerner.
Ardeen Sazee.
Katie Patrick McKay.
Jessica Marie Frost.
Catalina Garza de la Rosa.
Congratulations.
Right here.
Well done. Right here. Evan.
Taylor Marie Houston Saney.
Kelly Elaine McNair.
Bryce Warren Europe.
Caleb Cora Bear.
Justin M. Samad.
Ryan James McGee.
Charmel Bakia.
Jared Lee Barker.
John Michael Sanchez.
Victoria Cruz Magai.
Matthew Liam James.
Paulina Barner.
Vanessa Sanchez.
Azar Mahmood.
The Alexander Frank Dias.
Kieran Shaw Davis.
Jesse David Sangawan.
Ali Nazir Mayweather.
Jacqueline Brooke Glenn.
Thomas Raymond Baxter.
Derek Witt Salmon.
Andre J. Maldonado.
Andrew Moore Coletta.
Ryan James.
Daniel Santiago.
Bridget Ann Knapp.
Benjamin James.
Helen Matthew Beatty.
Emerson Eduardo Santiago Diaz.
Robert Graham Marcy III.
John Charles Gallagher.
Austin Edwards.
Alyssa Elizabeth Santini.
Kyle Joshua Markey.
Gigi Ann Gallagher.
Kristen Nicole Becker.
Tejashwani Samuel.
Kristen Elizabeth Moore.
Catherine Gallagher.
Elizabeth Claire Beck.
Riley Thomas Saffron.
Lauren Ann Mark.
Brandon James Gallagher.
Richard Joseph Beck Jr.
Zara Mona Sachi.
Luis Marquez Lobo.
Dana Noel Garner.
Amanda Becker.
Shani Adam Savalia.
William Charles Marshall.
Emily Elizabeth Silva.
Sophie Bebe.
Julia Helen Scannion.
Lily Intron Martinez.
Avian Gabriel Garcia.
Emily Marie Kokumari Bailey.
Emily Diane Stellinger.
Milagros Tatiana Martinez. Esther Belizaire.
Fabio Cianicola.
Maria Victoria Martinez Rosa.
Anisha Gargini.
Douglas McCollum Bell.
Catherine Marion Schlegel.
Juan Samuel Martinez Chani.
Ariana Gargini.
Zachary Bellfield.
Brittany Kayla Schleicher.
John Stephen Mason Jr.
Lisa Gerard Sokola.
Mark Bella.
Regina Eileen Smith II.
Manu Bradford.
Angel Elizabeth Bradford.
Serena Goodwin Bergeron.
Jennifer Hay Joel.
Lauren Teresa Manuel.
Millie Sukesh Garza.
Amanda Richard Bennett.
Zachary Jared Shorn.
Cameron James Mayfield.
Kai Kaya Gibbons.
Jeremy Dylan Oringer.
Emma Elizabeth Schultz.
Olivia Marie Mayo.
Jacob Raymond Gilbert. Amelia Grace Schuster.
Martina S. McAvoy.
Caroline Marie Hastings.
Natalie Devon.
Michael Barry Schwartz.
Nicole Ann McCobb.
Aaron Richard Swank.
Josiah D. McCall.
Vincent Stalin.
Christopher Ross McColgan.
Zamir Lewis Scott.
Amanda Morgan McCon.
Christopher Dominic Styler.
Ella Nicole McCoy.
Dominique Janae Selby.
Madeline Grace McCoy.
Jaylene Marie Semedy.
George Martinez.
Matt Aaron Cesare.
Ryan Patrick McDonald.
Ross Aaron Bowles.
Richard J. Sexton.
Melissa
Congratulations.
Sarah.
Howard V. Shaw.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Pat. What an honor.
Carla N. Shaw.
Jessica.
Congratulations.
Emma Claire Corsica.
Mira Lendobar.
Herbie D. Shaw.
Andrew Brian Wall.
Valerie Gorson.
Catherine Haley.
Shayna Rose Shapiro.
Olivia Ann.
Tyler Zagala.
Jordan Brianna Shearer.
Tyler Chase McLaughlin.
Thomas Grace.
George Robert Doyle.
Congratulations.
Ian Shekarabi.
Ryan James Tanner.
Allison Rose Graff.
Emily Lauren Carey.
Alexander Xavier McGee.
Emily Allison Gray.
Andrew Joseph Miller.
Bria Nine Chef.
Zachary Ryan Megan.
Olivia Lauren Gray.
Allison Noah Braun.
Hyden Shin.
Alexander Thomas Sr.
Andy Joseph Navy.
Mel Celeste Brennan.
Kirsten Elizabeth Schauer.
Diego Nathan Coach.
Over here, honey.
Abigail Shane.
Jared Robert Gray.
Control and Straw.
Mia Stewart Melcher.
Ronald Jerome Green III.
Daniel J. Simon.
Congratulations.
Michael Francis Gregory.
Congratulations.
Laura Ann Brock.
Tyler Reed Sill.
Wayne Cruz Benson.
Christopher Demetrius Ricker.
Danielle Tristan Hurst.
Safa Sister.
Zachary William Caceres.
David Ava Decker.
Richard Kyle Brody.
And Catherine Sikorsky.
Giovanni Eno Messi.
All right, Gio.
Brianna Estrella.
Haley Elizabeth Simmons.
Andy Ellis Messi.
Kathleen Veronica Gross.
Colin Barber.
Sunny Singh.
Mahini Islam Meyer.
Wilkins Barrier.
Hayden Simone Brown.
Ishraq Sinha.
Connor Colsey.
Gypsy Scott Hacker.
Joseph Douglas Siriani.
Shane Olivia Miller.
Abigail Magnolia Hathaway.
Laura Ann Slater.
Joseph David Miller III.
Jason Diego Colombo.
Reagan Alexis Ferris.
Casey Flynn Slayton.
Jacob Roger.
I know, I saw that.
Hunter Cameron.
Tiana Diane.
Joseph Michael Krasinski Jr.
Suzuki Minaj.
Stephen Thomas M.
Joseph Edward Clover.
Alvin Jamel Minaj.
Daniel Young.
Alexander
Zachary David Smeltzer.
Tristan Joshua Misra.
David Dawkins.
Very good.
Ryan Taylor Smith.
Ryan Edward Mitchell Jr.
Young Christopher Hall.
Connor
Tracy Marie Smith.
Morgan Page Jolie.
Nafisa Hall.
January Dave Solis-Chicago.
Cameron
Right here.
Samantha Nicole Harbison.
Jade Marie Blunt.
Jamie Brianna Solomon.
Nicolette Ann Boyson.
Jacob Roland Harper.
Noah James Gonzalez.
James Song.
Mahmoud Hassan Mola.
Caitlin Elizabeth Hall.
Ryan James Broussard.
Wichita Bong Song.
Andy Mola.
Alexis Fonseca Heller.
Noah Gardner
Dominique Ajalin Wall.
Congrats, Dominique.
Eric Dylan Monaghan.
Sean Douglas Harrison Ford.
Oh my goodness.
Matthew Tebow.
Ryan Zachary Clinton.
Mia Mitchell.
Ryan Christopher Harper.
Jonathan Edwards.
Alexander Patrick Springer.
Hold on.
Brandon Sean Bruner.
Abby Thomas Bassett.
Wow, what a gift.
Heredity Sean
Katie Ann Sean.
Alana Christine.
Olivia Grace Hauser.
Danny Paul Hunter Justin Long.
Alexa Rose Spritzler.
Paige Alexandra Moore.
Sean Francis Hayes.
Brian Moore.
Aaron Catherine Strong.
Christian Morales.
Daniel Joseph Haney.
Saida Raboni.
Isabella Rose Nebraska.
Samantha Sophie Beach.
Laura Butler.
Ryan Allen Stahl.
Francis Cole Morelli II.
Andrew Richard Hall.
Olivia Ritter.
Grace Nicole Fletcher.
Jacqueline Julia Lawrence.
Kyle Dakota Hendricks.
Jessica Nicole Havana.
Holly Ann Zachariah.
Michaela Emily Mosley.
Colin Zhang Yang.
Kevin Alonzo.
Sarah Margaret Staley.
Kevin William Moss.
Justice Todd Henry.
Karina Beth
Joseph Megan Stevens.
Brittany Paige Moyer.
Lindsay Marie Henry.
Lily Ella Camp.
Melanie Jeanette Steve.
Emma Moyer.
Emily Lynn Henry.
Alexa Ray Stella.
Michael Solomon Muhammad.
Tyler Justin Essie.
James Tyler Stevens.
Jacob Michael Holland.
Brianna Ann Lee.
Christine Alexander Carter II.
Alex Edward Stevens.
Julie Ann Long.
Brianna Ann Anthony.
Isabella Nicole.
Hannah Rose Stevens.
Ryan Michael Hunt.
Deanna St. Bill.
Joseph Castle Jr.
James William Stidham.
Matthew Christopher Murphy.
Hannah Elizabeth Hill.
Caitlin Cash.
Sarah Elizabeth Stinson.
Catherine Rose Meyer.
Bishop Devin Henry.
Morgan Lily Cassidy.
Alex Jeffrey Stolen.
Cameron Lee Meyer.
Carol Weston Love.
Arden John Kaiser.
Luke Eric Straw.
Morgan Gabrielle Tito.
Brian Kimberly Hines.
Brianna Rochelle.
Hendon Thomas Grogan.
Sophia Bernadette Mercado.
Hey, so congratulations, great folks. How are you?
It's so wonderful. Thank you.
Jennifer Ashley.
Tennessee Denise Stewart.
Shabani Lee Judd.
Max Frederick Thompson.
Hey, Max.
Missy Smith.
Congratulations.
Kelly McVeigh Sullivan.
Colin Patricia Nash.
Brianna Molly Hudson.
Congratulations, sir.
Nicholas Adam Shannon.
Nicholas Alexander Scavin.
Nancy R. Mohammed.
Joelle Oil.
Chris Chang.
Braxton Michael Sweetie.
Courtney Alexis Senior.
Deja Michelle Ho.
Sung Chang.
Elisa Satter Sakala.
Michael Andrew Nyman.
Brittany Lynn Hall.
Angelina Joseph.
Alexander Scott Taney.
Nicholas Peter Newman.
Jonathan Matthew Hogan.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Demetrius Kenya Charles.
Jacob Redden Carlo.
Kurt, I'm tapping out after
Annette Newkirk.
Go ahead. Slide it.
Michelle Eugene Hall.
Brooke Morgan Taylor.
Any point. Go ahead. Yeah, bro. Go ahead.
We all wanted to congratulate you.
Paul Energy.
Congratulations, Paul.
Gerard Gian Upton.
Emily Denver Chapman.
Laura Nicole Taylor.
Hans Ruben.
I can see the germs of anything.
Richard Thomas Allen Jr.
Suma K. Travis.
Famina Safi Tasby.
Anna Newman.
Chloe Elizabeth Horner.
Donna J. Chapman.
Victoria Patrizia Terranoni.
Justin C. Newman.
Amanda Rose Horowitz.
Stella Jasmine Jez Alvarado.
Monica N. Thatch.
Hey, Monica.
Kevin Newman.
Jessica Michael Oba.
Frank Bouchet.
Alexis Renee Taylor.
Daniel Trey Newman.
Kazi Zafia Osmia.
Taylor Green Schindler.
Christina Mary Thomas.
Jessica Eden Lieber.
Benazir Zafia Hussein.
Victoria Claire Schmidt.
Megan Casey Thomas.
Mary Elizabeth Neiman.
Kanaka E. Hussein.
Tom Prescott.
Owen William Thomas.
Shania
Congrats, buddy.
NPTV Nora Hussein.
Nora Helen Christian.
Jessica Ann Thompson.
Nicole Jody Noel.
NPTV Kender Hussein.
Devin Joshua Christopher.
Naya Imani Thompson.
Emily Colleen Ner.
Alexander Vincent Hutchison.
Michaela Claire Tillman.
Shannon Ray O'Brien.
Isabel Rose Hughes.
Sean Robert Tinian.
Brianna Shea O'Connor.
Jennifer Lynn Hughes.
Alexander Adam Platt.
Ikra Tisha.
Anthony J.L. Rivera Mercado.
Tasha Hopper.
Jessica Marie Foster. Lee Melody Cumberland.
Congratulations, Marie.
David Odell Inman.
Samuel Dane Cruz.
Ashley Michelle Esponte.
Alexander John Torres. Samantha Paige Persona. Brady Dane Shaw. Himina Troy Moore. Isaiah Zachary Trishy. Vishwa Prem Kumar Krishnan.
Mary, I'm so thirsty. I thought you said water, but you said Kiara. Sorry.
Jason Highland Johnson.
Can I swap? Let's go. Go ahead. You got it.
I got to sneak in for Maddie Trudman.
Madeline Catherine Trudman.
I had to. It's all I deserve. Congratulations, young man.
Evan Michael Trump.
Congratulations, man.
Daniel Andrew Trump. Jacob Carl Trump. Pages Judith Pumpkin. Dylan Nicholas Karame.
35th reunion.
Caitlin Marie Turner.
Congratulations.
Erica Gray Surrounding.
Congratulations.
Mary Taylor Tufal. Kevin Ong.
Richard Johnson.
Visalakshi Vaidyanathan. Catherine Renee Lindsay. Caitlin May Van Dam. Tyler Francis Vanderden.
Lisa Andrea Shiroma Jones.
Marcus Corsani.
Smith F. Tracy.
David William Vasquez Jr.
Madison Victoria Jordan.
Exeter Yvette Vasquez.
It's pretty darn good.
Ella Christopher Moreski.
Congratulations, Owen.
Aiden Matthew Jordan.
Paige Spring Gorilla.
Teresa Catherine Giuliano.
Is that to happen?
Alexander Franklin Muscuri.
Leon Jones.
Chloe Taylor Vesper.
Nicholas Bruce Justice.
Angel Danielle Goodwin.
I'm very proud of you.
David John Martin.
Brenna Catherine Vizzi.
Rita A. Canada.
Congratulations.
Logan Dinah Vonderstrom. Alexander Min Vu.
Colin Jacob William Nico.
Davion Walker.
Andrew Timothy Kelly.
Zamir Walker.
Hey, Demir.
Christopher Phillips Kelly.
Claudia Isabel Walker.
Congratulations.
Erica Lynn Kelly.
August Lily Walker.
Well, congratulations.
Shayla Nicole Kelly.
Laura Ellen Wanamaker.
Washington Kelly.
Nicole Catherine Ford.
Stephen Ryan Dickey.
Zachary Joseph Ward.
Brandon Nathaniel Kennedy.
Xander Nicholas Warlow Ball.
Hannah Elizabeth Turner.
Morgan Elizabeth Lorraine.
Michelle Elizabeth Murphy.
Zachary William Warner. Olivia Claire Wachowski.
Khalil.
Danielle Catherine
Daniel Patrice Washington. Emma Molly Wasserman. Jennifer Lynn Reisman. Ali Batum. Audrey Diane Wyman. Rosalie Rose. Jennifer Rose White.
Matthew Jack Francesco.
Robert Corey White.
Christian Mary Killian.
Charles Benjamin Reese. Matthew Parker West.
Diana Elizabeth Carrier.
David John Kim.
Kenneth John Wesley.
Henry Joseph Kim.
Rachel Morgan Wiener.
Joa Kim.
Sean Alexander Wilk.
John Kim.
Sienna Autumn Williams.
Jonathan Young Kim.
Sydney Michelle Wilson. Ryan William Joel Evans Wilson. Laura Elizabeth Wolf. Ryan Christopher Wolf. Jossie Gregory Watkins. Adrian Taylor Wright.
Lauren Kathleen Cole.
Kelsey Erin Kowalski.
May Ellen White.
Bianca Monet Collins.
Madam Joe Kirker.
Miss Sarah Wynn.
Cassie Brinley Cobb.
Tyler J. Kessler.
Lillian Michelle Ball.
Claudia S. Yada.
Juan Isabel Coleman.
Alexa Ray Kolke.
Megan Daniel.
Jessica Lynn Knight.
Keelan John Prego.
Moses Bobby Rock Kunal.
Frank Stephen Yanni.
Wyatt Brett Jackson.
Christopher Cody Capone.
Colin Page Bobby.
Mosina Mabo Yashua.
Sage Marie Frank.
Macha Demas Konaki.
Linda Lee.
Tejas Priyadarshi.
Alexander J. Petrius.
Terry Alwadee.
Timothy Wright Ewing.
Michael J. Spratt.
Shanu Yanu Yu.
Tyler Scott Pratt.
Yeon Yu.
Sophia Quintana Davis.
Olivia Lee Freewash.
Andrew Charles Dunley.
Matthew Anthony Yost Jr.
Mackenzie Ann Coon.
Carter Richard Dunley.
Ramon R. Youssef.
Jacob Winwood Cook.
Ryan Taylor
Sunwoo Yu.
Sharika Pinto.
Kaya Marisha Dillon.
Sharon S. Yu.
Gabriel Paul Stewart.
Ryan Patrick Everett Sr.
Elite Zaman.
Jonathan McQuarrie.
Megan Elizabeth Zarkin.
Noah H. Wozniak.
Martha Yolanda Zavala Santos.
Stella Hagen Moore.
Bernadette Zavatsky.
Stephen Law.
Stephanie Winghui Zhang.
Andrello Jagalafala.
Maria Teresa Zulo.
Christopher James LaVega.
Sarah Y. Kwan.
Maria Culver Lamb.
Ryan, you. Go ahead, Ryan.
Tasha Cordelia Lamb. Tatiana Austin Lamb. Julie Elizabeth Landis.
Pearl Wilson.
Courtney Jean Landis. Cameron Jessica Landry. Keegan Laura Lane. Jada Elizabeth Manchi. Madeline Grace LaProvia. Lee Ryan Michael Lair. Kyle Ryan LaRouche. Isabella Iron Lawrence. Sophie Duca Wallace.
Thank you. We're good. All right. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Great job. I'm going to go at the same time.
Now, I would like to ask Ms. Amy Young and Ms. Foon Nguyen, your senior class advisors, to read the names of your senior class officers and congratulate them for their hard work. Following the class officers, Ms. Mary Scott and Dr. Sarah Radigan, your assistant principals, will read the names of those who are graduating in absentia.
Evan Sadao, Kamalu Amalani Yanagawa. Allison Tomer Maxwell. Ryan Michael Cody. Margaret Grace Walsh.
Following members of the class of 2018 will be graduating in absentia: Marcarios Basilius Abusef, Robert Allen Bayer, Cassandra Jaylene Carrasquillo, Alexander Hunter Cheney, Zoe May Kern, Selena Nicole Deal, Sam Irwin, Drew Michael Fox.
Michael Stephen Miletto, Jacob Clayton Monkey, Kier Chayton Rotons, Dylan Shane Roy, Morgan Meredith Spalding, Alexandria Hope Taylor, and Zachary T. Venezia.
Congratulations to all of our graduates. Okay. Before our closing remarks and the moving of the tassel, I want to remind you that as in years past, each graduate's name will appear on the marquee twice for 5 minutes each time. The schedule for these names will be posted on our website on June 14th, and the names will begin appearing on June 18th. Please feel free to be here with your cap and gown for a designated photo opportunity. And now, at this time, I'd like to invite Dr. Kurt Dietrich, the Superintendent of Schools for the North Penn School District, to the stage to address the class of 2018. I promise he will keep it short. Also, Dr. Sarah Radigan and Ms. Mary Scott, your assistant principals, will join us up here to ask the class to rise and then move their tassels. Dr. Dietrich.
Good evening. As Superintendent of Schools, it is truly my pleasure to participate in commencement exercises. The ultimate outcome of 13 years of education is to prepare you for this moment, where we can confidently send you into the world prepared for post-secondary education and/or the world of work. So it is with tremendous pride that I and all 1,911 North Penn employees whom I represent this evening congratulate you and wish you the very best in the next stage of your life. As I was preparing my remarks for this evening, I was reminded of an assignment given to a class of 4th grade students. These 4th graders were assigned the task of researching a famous person and writing a brief essay that summarized their research. This is what one 4th grade girl wrote. Socrates was a famous philosopher. He gave long speeches. They poisoned him. And so that I may not suffer the same fate as Socrates, and truly to keep the focus of this very moment on you, the graduates, please allow me to simply wish you good health and good times as you move to the next chapters of your lives. I'm confident that by earning a North Penn diploma, you are well positioned to achieve your dreams. And now, so that the celebrations may begin as soon as possible, after turning the tassel, of course, please allow me to make the official pronouncement for which you have worked 13 years to hear. And that pronouncement is, now by the powers vested in me by the Pennsylvania Department of Education and the North Penn School District's Board of Education, I hereby declare that all members of the class of 2018, whose names have been read this evening and have been certified to me as having met all necessary requirements, shall from this point forward be known as graduates, North Penn High School. Congratulations. Enjoy your celebrations this evening. At this time, we'll have Ms. Scott and Dr. Radigan come forward for the turning of the tassels.
Class of 2018, you have certainly left your mark on North Penn High School. It is time for us to share you with the rest of the world. We leave you with these parting words. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can, and always stay true to yourself. Just be kind and be brave. That's all you ever need to be. We are proud of you, we love you, and we will certainly miss you.
Class of 2018, please rise. Okay, now join me in moving your tassel from right to left, signifying that you are now graduates of North Penn High School.